what I'm saying? We gotta step up, do what we gotta do. Take care of this, you know? We only got one shot at this, you know? So I'ma do my part, of course. Gotta shine, throw your shades on, you know? Yeah, let's get it cracking.
What up, what up, what up? This Ibn Web, Quran Web, the some him official thanks thing I got going on here. Al Ray Blackmon. I'll pause because I know his name's been mentioned a few times since I've been doing this here. One of Newark's own, one of Shabazz's finest here. Like I said, just being a young and just hearing these names or what have you, this is a complete joy to get him on. I wanted to say what up to the D-Bop for just setting this up here as well too. So just gonna just sit back. I'm just gonna be quiet right now. Let him get on. You know, hear a little bit about his walk. We just gonna go from there. Hold tight. And peace. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Thank you. You got some help here. I always get a kick out of that. Everybody getting some help setting this up here. I always get a kick out of that. Nah, thanks, man. Like I said, it'd been nice to place a face with a name. And thanks for just doing this here. Like I said, I kind of been a little giddy all morning, man. Just trying to just happy to have opportunity to just to chop it up for a second or two here. So thanks for doing this.
Hey, man. Well, listen, it's an honor for you having me. I appreciate it. Happy holidays to you and your family as well. And
I got you.
Let's get to it.
Cool. I mean, so with all this here, man, where'd I start from? You were born where?
I was
Newark,
born in
somewhere
Newark.
else?
Yeah, I was born in Newark, 78. Me and my brother moved to the Bronx with my father for a year. And my mom said, nah, I got to have my boys back. So she brought us back to Newark. And that's when the journey started, man. And about, I would say 84, we went to Spencer. Yeah, that's where we was living on Stratford and Clinton. And we went down to Louise A. Spencer. And it was a coach by the name of Mr. V. And never forget, he was a gym teacher as well.
Okay.
A good guy, you know. But it really, you know, we played all sports, baseball, football, but we took a liking to basketball, probably like in the 6th grade, I would say.
Okay. Now, even before jumping into hoops, me take a guess. Either Beth Israel or University as far as hospital. If I was to take a guess.
I'm going to University.
You were born in that you were born in.
Yeah, Beth Israel. No. Martland. University was called Martland at the time, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah,
I figure it was one of the two here.
Yeah.
Only child?
Huh?
I know you mentioned one sibling. You had any other siblings?
Oh yeah. Me and my brother. I got two. All of us played for Shabazz though.
Okay.
We got a lot of chips from Shabazz. I think my younger brother got a state. I got county, city, Christmas tournament, 2 sectional finals, 2 sectionals, and lost in the state finals twice. My oldest son got a state. You know, he played in 2 of them. Won one, lost. You know, the basketball is heavy rooted. Now I got a younger nephew, 2 younger nephews at Shabazz, freshman phenom, Anthony Blackmon. And the head coach is my nephew, and the assistant coach is my cousin, which I raised as my son. So, yeah, the roots go deep.
Nah, I hear that. You got to be proud, too. I know the football team is doing well now, too, over there.
Yeah,
I know they just did their thing this year, too.
Yeah, actually, my nephew played for football, but, you know, he had some hiccups. So he played and let 2 state tournaments, 2 state champions get away. And I say, you giving them chips away, you're going to regret that one day.
Yeah. Now, just growing up, I mean, was basketball your first love? You play any sports, you know, just growing up besides hoops?
Actually, the first love was boxing. You know? And I gave it a try, but I used to catch migraines real bad. So my mom was like, nah, we can't have that. You getting migraines, you mess around and get hit with one of those, you're in trouble. So, you know, I came out of that and just, you know, the neighborhood molded us back then. It's either you going to play football, baseball, basketball, you choose, you know. And by me living at Stratford and Clinton, you know, we had the hole over there in Green Acres, and that was, oh man, you had some phenomenal ball players there. Randy Franks, Tyrese, Poobie from Little Bricks. I mean, these guys were phenoms. Should have been pros, park legends, and just looking at them play the game, I just took a liking to it,
Yeah.
and some of those guys mentored me, showed me the way, molded me a little bit, and I just had great guys that came along in my life. I watched your interview with D Bob. He spoke on Bill Wembley. Oh, hands goes down to that man. What he
Yeah.
done for so many kids, I hope to fulfill his shoes one day. I mean, he was the first man that ever took me on an airplane. You know,
Yeah.
we played, I think it was 87. We played, lost in the Nationals championship that year against Stanley Robinson, Lee Mayberry retired. They was loaded. They was loaded with all the heavy hitters, and we actually should have won that game. I ain't gonna call B out, but I think he took me out a little bit early. I was on a fast break against Stanley Robinson. In my era, a small guy, big guy, you blow by him. I blew by him, and the ball spent in and out. B didn't like it. He pulled me. I said, B, I don't know. Mr. Wynn would have left me in there. But hands down, I just had great guys came along and mentored me. My coaches at Shabazz, Lou Grimsley, Mr. Reynolds, my accountant, Ali Rashid. I mean, these gentlemen took a liking in my like. Who else? I got Mr. Watson. That was the guy that put me in the real estate game in
Okay.
'93. And my list go on. And I can't forget, of course, my two uncles, my mother brother Frank, my father brother Bill, and of course my main man, my father. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Most definitely.
Those guys led me, and God is just blessing me to live a phenomenal life right now.
Nah,
Yeah.
that's good stuff. You mentioned a whole lot of people here. I mean, besides AAU, did you play any other leagues growing up here? I know you had the whole down there just
I,
playing, but
I
any other?
played the whole. Yeah, the whole was the place. At one
Yeah.
point they was ranked, I think, top 3 in the country. So
Mm-hmm.
I played there, and we had a lot of battles against them. Randy Franks, oh man, my guy JC from Central, uh, them boys from across town, Red and them, Land, Water, all them guys, man. I mean, I played against some really great ball players. Some I didn't get to play against that I wanted to play against. That was real tough. I gotta say, Mark Brown from Columbia. Mark,
Okay.
Mark, Mark was the truth, and I wanted to play against him, but I never got the chance to. I
Mm-hmm.
always felt as though to be the best, you got to go up against the best. And he
That's
was
right.
a tough guy. Bob Hurley from St. Anne's, he was a tough guy. I played against some of the best, Sam Cassell. I never got a chance to play against Kenny. Every time we played Riverside, Kenny got sick for some reason. I don't know what it was.
Hey, we don't know. It's convenient, huh?
Yeah, but as far as my basketball, man, it was good to me. I tell everybody I only lost to the guys that made it to the league. So you draw it up, you know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
we just had some all-out war, especially in that county. That county was phenomenal. We
Hold
had,
tight with the county recruit. Hold tight.
yeah.
Because you broke my heart, but I'm gonna get to that in a second here. I
Uh,
mean, with even with playing as far as there was no doubt in your mind you was going to Shabazz for high school. Nowadays, 7th, 8th graders, they got all these people coming out. But back
right.
then, it was like no doubt you was gonna be
Well, no
streamlined to
doubt, because
Shabazz.
I live right there on Stratford and Clinton, and
Mm-hmm.
Shabazz was right up the street. So, at that time, I really wasn't going to school for the ball. I was like, all right, let me go to school. And when I got into Shabazz, and I started looking at, what was in front of me. I played golf as well. People don't know that. I
Wow.
played
Okay.
tennis.
Okay.
I played the year I played tennis, I twisted my ankle and I couldn't go no more. But I actually won a championship in golf at the end. So,
Okay. Mm.
but nah, Shabazz was my only choice because it was right up the street. It didn't make no sense to go nowhere else. And I'm glad I went. I'm glad I went because I mean, I'm still good with a lot of those teachers to this day. I mean, I could pick up the phone and call a lot of them for personal reasons. You
Hmm.
know, Coach Waddy, Lewis, my guy, Mr. Reynolds is my guy. I still have contact with these guys to this
Hmm.
day. So it was a great choice for me, you know.
Now, now you got up in there. I mean, just the lineage with Shabazz here from Cleo Hill to Lonnie Wright to
Right.
you got Raheem, you got everybody there. I mean, but you get there, like right from the door. You playing varsity or
Well,
you?
it was my sophomore year when Mr. Reynolds took over. My freshman year, you had Coach Beck and Mr. King, Coach King. And when Mr. Reynolds came in, he took over the midpoint, I believe, or the beginning of the sophomore year. He pulled me up to varsity. You know, he's like, "Oh no, it's something in you. I see something in you." I was like, "I don't know what you see in me, but whatever you see in me, I'm happy." And that sophomore year was actually a great year. We went and bumped off the #1 team in the state, which was Seton Hall Prep at that time. They named me, Ovalachi, and I think Steve Bullock. It was us three coming off the bench. They call us the bench court. Then we came in the game, man, and we bumped them boys up in Seton Hall Prep. That was a amazing win, big win. Never forgot it.
Now you beat them in the counties or you beat them just during the regular
They were
season?
they was regular season. They was #1
Okay.
at that point, and everybody counted us out. You know, when we went up in there, like, oh, they ain't beating them boys up in Seton Hall Prep. You can forget about it. But
Hmm.
what they didn't know, we had two coaches on that sideline, Lou Grimsley and Autry Reynolds. Them boys preach
Hmm.
defense, you know,
Yeah,
and that's what I tell my nephew to this day. He, you know, freshman phenom, and I say, hey, listen, offense put the cheeks in the seats, but defense win championships.
that's
So
right.
you got to get your D on point, you know, the offense to come, you know, and that's what we did. Me going in, I was more of my sophomore year, junior year, I was more of a defensive guy. You know, my offense really didn't come along until maybe the midpoint of the junior year after playing with Mr. Bill Wembley. He tweaked some pointers in my game, and then I said, "Oh, I can score this thing," you know, I could do this, and he made a change there.
How's those practices at Shabazz? Like this, I mean, yeah, it's talent everywhere. I can only imagine.
How
You
was
know,
the
you talk about
practice?
the how were the practices? You got all this competition just
Oh
amongst
man,
yourselves here.
our practices was harder than the game,
Mm,
especially my junior and senior year. You talking about you may have 5 guards in the same gym that can go to any high school in the city and start.
mhm.
We had Malik Cox,
Yeah,
Al Mal. I had some great players in that, and one of my guys that's no longer here. Oh man, pictures in my head. But anyway, he used to jump out the gym, and the practices were harder than the game. You know, it was no days off because somebody on that bench wanted your spot. So you had to come in with your sneakers laced up every day. And Mr. Reynolds and Lou Grimsley believed in giving it to the one that worked the hardest. You know,
okay.
so I had no days off. No days off.
I mean, and again, I'm just trying to vision. Like I said, you got all this talent, and I know you talk you being a guard here. Yeah, you have some big boys with you too that helped out a little
Oh, oh yeah, the
bit.
horses were legit. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
we had Avant my junior year, him and Big Tone. Tone was my sophomore year, Avant junior year. Um, Big Ed was with me my senior year. Then we had Robert Bethea, Smiley, no, which is no longer here with us.
Mhm.
Yeah, we had some horses. Them boys was they. I look at the teams today, and I look at the teams when we played. I like, oh, they little. Some of these schools are tiny, but yeah, we had some definitely had some towers.
Now you probably Shabazz around your time. You still was it? It was still in the city league before they expanded. Were you still had part
Yeah,
of the
we were
city league
city
when you were
league.
there?
Yeah, we were
How was
city.
just playing against just people from just Newark in general? Just there was such rich tradition
Man,
here.
listen. Weequay was a battle.
Mhm.
Um, them boys over at Barringer wasn't nothing to play with. You know, they just came with that fire. Red was a before he was 10 years before his time. To me, Red was
That's what I
more
heard.
like
That's what I heard.
he was more like Sugar Ray Richardson when Magic played. Magic would not dominate everybody in the league, but when he went up with Sugar Ray that in the Meadowlands, Sugar Ray was a whole different beast. Red just brought that attitude to the game. He was more like an Aaron Pryor on the basketball court. You know what I mean? And I used to look at this guy like, yo, I like his intensity. So I actually stole some of his intensity my senior year. You know what I mean? I said, I'm gonna tweak it a little bit because Red just had that chip like, yo, I said, no, I'm gonna finesse it a little bit. So I just finesse it a little bit. But yeah, them Barringer games, man, it was a beast. You had Ward, you had Ed, Bruce. They had some heavy hitters, you know, and when we went up, it always came down to that wire, you know. But before them, like I said, it was Central. JC and them boys, Ab and them. Ab was an All-American in all sports. He just didn't get the accolades because of his other side. But Ab had to be one of the best athletes I have ever played up against in the city of Newark because he played football, basketball, wrestled. He did everything. And but we had some great guys, man. I mean, wasn't no days off.
No, it couldn't have been. I mean, you just talking about those teams. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I know even with the North folks that you had to play against here, when it came county time, you got to branch out here. How was just competing in these counties here?
The county was the county was our garden. You know, everybody want to win that county. I mean, oh man, like I said, that was really about the first time where I actually saw Mark Brown, my junior year. Him in the counties. I'm like, yo, who is this kid? This kid is out there with a one-man gang. He had a horse in the middle, and the rest of the team was just coming, you know. I was like, oh man, I want to play this guy because this guy is real deal. Then you had Earl Flanagan over at East Orange.
Yeah, Pearl. Yeah.
Rob James at Clifton Scott. Bro, it was no days off. It was no days off. So if you won that county, you won your Mecca. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, the county was a different beast. That was a different beast. Everybody wanted to win that. You know?
And you got an opportunity to win. I share this. I know me being a young boy, probably middle school, what have you, looked up to, I'm from Orange, so looked up to, the Orange team, undefeated.
Yeah.
They only had one loss one whole year, county finals. They run up against a team, from North, South Side there, Shabazz there, came up short. So, the whole city was heartbroken in regards to that.
That was kind of personal for us boys, because we looking in the paper every week, orange. Well, they ain't talking about Shabazz. Lou kicked us out of practice that week. We didn't practice.
Oh wow.
Yo, I told Lou, I said, you think Mike and them gonna beat us? Lou was like, man, they gonna try. I said, Lou, man, I said, Reg, come on, we walking out. We walked out of practice. And then when we get to the county game and them boys, I think they jumped on us 10 love. I called Lou looking at us, I said, Lou, don't say nothing. Yo, y'all scared, get me the rock, move out the way. Let's get back in this game 1 point at a time, Yeah, that Orange team, they were really tough. They were tough. I was like, wow. Because, when we saw them play, I'm like, man, all they do is dunk the ball. They throwing alley-oops the whole game. But, man, let me tell you, when them boys jumped on us, I think they went up 10 love. It seemed like the arena was spinning. I said, I went to Reg. I said, Reg, you coming to play with me today or what? Because we got to turn it up. These guys is for real. And we calmed down and chipped away with it a little bit at a time, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. You said Lou kicked y'all out. Y'all didn't practice that week.
We didn't practice that week because I was upset. I was like, Lou, how you act like you scared of Orange? You scared of Orange? Lou, you Lou Grimsey. Lou,
that's right.
Oh man, I don't care what they are. They're not beating us. And Reg looked at me, man, we got the baddest point guard in the county. You talking that junk back? So we we pulled it out. Thank God we did, you know. And I really didn't know we gave them the only loss they had that year. I didn't know that. Yeah. Now I see why Mike, every time he see me, he like, put your sneakers on.
Oh, I was about to ask you your relationship with Mike here these
Oh
days. You
man,
mean?
Mike is a good guy, you know.
Yeah.
Him and my brother is much closer than me and him is, but every time I see him, I don't care if I see him in Sunday church. Where your sneakers at, Mike? I don't play no more, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, Mike a good dude, man. From what I hear, he got a nephew that's pretty good out there. I think he's in arts, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Yeah. No, I know that's one game I know Mike loved to have back. He said for some reason you gave it to him that day.
Well, like I said, I turned it personal because I'm saying, hold up, fellas, we done played against better. We done played against the best of the best, you know, and for some reason, we didn't get no accolade in that press. They ain't give us. I'm like, reckon just as good as theirs. I said, oh man, but nah, Mike and them was tough. I mean, Mike, he was jumping out the gym. I think he was what, 6'1"? Yeah, Mike could probably take a coat off the top of the backboard. I was like, yeah, he definitely had them hops, man. You know, but we had some all-out wars. My best rivalry though was Clifford Scott.
Okay.
Oh, especially in the state. I think we bumped them the last 2 years. The junior year when they had Derek Canada and Rob James, we got them. And then Molly, I got Molly my last year. If I could take that game back, I would, because I broke my hand the last 5 seconds of the game. Nobody knew that. I ran into the wall and broke my hand. I had to sit. I sat most of the game against Chris Jensen now. Actually, after the game, I went to the hospital. They wanted to put a cast on me. You can't put no cast on me. You put a cast on me, I can't play. My season over. So I said, nah, Mr. Reynolds, we're gonna tape this up. We're gonna spray it with the numbing spray, tape it up. I'm playing. That was actually, Mr. Reynolds the junior year. And Lou the senior year. So I taped it up, and the game against Chris Jensen, I think I might have played about 3-4 minutes that game. We beat them, luckily. And then we had a week to get ready for Bridgewater, which I still wasn't right. But I went out there and I competed to the best of my ability. So if it was a game that I could take back, I take the last 5 seconds of Clifford Scott. I shouldn't have been on the court, you know, because I told Lou, yo, I hurt us. Lou told me, well, when we played Bridgewater the second, I said, Lou, take me out. I'm hurting the team. Lou's like, you got us here. We're going to ride you. That's one thing about Lou Grimsley, boy. If you his go-to guy, he going to ride you hard all the way. Win, lose, or draw, he going to go down with you. That's one thing I love about Lou.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great man. I know you mentioned those sectionals, the Chris Jensen, the Spartans, and Bridgewater. Was that one of the Murdochs that you had to play?
I played Eric Murdoch junior year, he beat us. Then the last season, the last year was his brother.
Okay.
It was his brother. And then Deacon Lance, you know, all of us played AAU together.
I was going to ask, to circle back to the North Rams.
Yeah.
Even with that, the Rams, man, I just think about it. I had opportunity to play when I was like 13, 14, but me just as a little kid, just sitting in that gym, just watching the 17 and unders, it was like who's who in New Jersey here. Like, how was it for you just being on that, walking up them steps, going to practice? I mean, it had to be something for you.
Let me tell you, it was fun. My first time in there, Mark Brown and them was the senior team. We was the junior team. Mark used to walk in the gym with the hood over his head. Mark walk in the gym, and B would be over in the corner. Here come the Godfather. He call it the Godfather. B, who the Godfather? Him. So you
Shabazz,
bro, you had Eric Murdoch. You had, oh man, you name them, we had them. All in the same gym. Then you had them boys from Jersey City, Jerome Bash, and all. You had the lace. You couldn't come in that gym with no BS, you know. My senior team, it was me, Reg, in the back court. I had Lance on one wing. A lot of people don't know Corey Floyd played with us in California. I had him on another wing. And then, of
Oof.
course, I had the big guy, Marquise Braggs, in the middle. Oh, that was like heaven to me. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
They were like, I don't care what kind of pass I threw, them guys would catch it. You
Hmm.
know. And like I said, we went up, man. We was cracking. We beat Alonzo Mourning and them in Virginia. We ran into Cassell and then we bumped them off. We was bumping teams off that nobody had us to win. We got down to the Nationals in Arkansas. We played um, Ty Day. Them boys was loaded. It was Stanley Robinson in the middle, Ty Day, Lee Mayberry. They had a couple other cats, but they whole starting five was all Americans.
Hmm.
And I'm like, for us to come down to the wire, I think they got us by 2 or 3 at that. And
Hmm.
I felt as though B pulled me too early, and because we came back on the rally. I think I stole a ball and it was me and Stanley Robinson. I blew by the big guy, and back finger rolled it. The ball went in and out. B got mad. You should have pulled it out. B, that was a one-on-one with me and a 7-footer. If I don't blow by him, something wrong, you know.
Hmm.
But he pulled me and I'm sitting on the bench mad. I'm like, why Mr. Wim had to leave? Yeah, we went down the wire, but that AAU, man, we played against the best. Anthony Pillar, um,
Hmm.
like I said, Sam Cassell. We played against Billy Owens. You name it, we played them, and we was running there. If we didn't beat them, it was down. It was to the wire.
Yeah.
To the wire. Yeah. So we had a good run that year, you know.
Let me ask before I might forget this. This is a kind of summertime here. You had Green Acres. Did you play at Elmwood? Did you play at all of them, Branch Brook and all that during
I
your
played
summers,
in
if
the
you recall?
hole. I played in
Okay.
the hole, and then when I wasn't playing, I was in Long Island with my father.
Okay.
I go spend
Okay.
that time. I'm like, all right, it's time to be a kid. Let me just get away from the
That's right.
ball. My thing was the hole because I felt as though that was the toughest league to play in. You had them boys with them projects and all that heat coming out the ground. So I played there. I think I might have played in Branchbrook maybe once or
Okay.
twice. Never got a chance to play up in Elmwood. Never got a chance to play there. But for the most part, if I wasn't in Jersey, I was in Long Island for the summer.
It was just an event being there. It was just an event. Like from the game sometimes was secondary. It was
Yeah,
like, you making sure you fresh,
yeah,
everything,
yeah, yeah.
whips all over the place. Like it was an
Yeah,
event. Yeah, yeah. And
absolutely,
mhm. and
absolutely.
and then I know with all this going on here, like, I know being 16, 17 here, did you ever think about like, hey, I can play at another level here? Or did that ever click while you was playing? Like, hey, I
Um,
can I could play in college here or try to take something with this.
well, that really didn't click there. It clicked
Okay.
when we was traveling AAU, you
Okay.
know, and you seeing yourself compete against so-called the best in the world that they have to offer, and you're like, oh man, I just smoked his boots. Um, I think it was Elmore Bennett that was Notre Dame point guard. I think he
Hmm.
played for a Houston team in AAU. I smoked him so bad, his coach came to me and Mr. Wim, I need your point guard. Me with loving Newark the way I did, I'm pro Newark. Mr. Wim, I
Yeah.
ain't going nowhere with them. And Mr. Wim told me, I think you missing out on an opportunity. But at the time, I didn't know. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I didn't go. I think that was one of the mistakes I made in my career. And,
Hmm.
and another one I made, and still to this day, I'm glad I'm on this stage. I owe Mr. Bob Hurley an apology, and I hope he see this video one day. Um, because I got a little sassy with him one day in the gym. I was a
Hmm.
little upset that I was on the bench. I'm like, this guy ain't playing me. His son ain't better than me. And when I got in the game, I might have shot the ball 10 straight times.
Yeah.
And Bob Hurley said, oh, that was the worst performance I ever said. Man, I don't want to hear that because that Newark came out. And
Hmm.
I hope he see this. And I want to say,
Yeah.
Mr. Hurley, man, from the bottom of my heart, I owe you an apology as a man to a man. You one of the greatest guys that ever coached this game that I know of. And I owed
Hmm.
you that. I owed you that, and I wanted to give it to you. And I hope you
Now,
appreciate it.
now, well said here. Now, when you played with Coach Hurley, was it that was like some all-star team or something?
That was I don't know, Sandy, his guy
Okay,
Sandy.
right.
Sandy would come and get the best talent out of Newark and take the Hurley, and that day he came, got me, Reg, Cup, I think it was Smiley, and maybe another guy. And we went
Mm-hmm.
up there and he put us on the team. And when I went in the gym, like I said, at that time, I thought I was better than his son. So why you sitting me the whole game? I'm sitting here. Why you bring me to the gym if you wasn't gonna play me? You know what I mean? That's how I took it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was an event. I guess Sandy was trying to get us to cross over to the road runs at that
Yeah,
time.
because I know Sandy was in Newark, and I know he branched and did his own thing with the Road Runners. Yeah.
Right, right. So he was trying to get us to branch over, but I wasn't leaving Mr. Wynn for nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Post high school, what you end up doing? Like as far as
Um,
upon graduation and
after
everything else
after
here?
high school, I went. Northeastern came to recruit me,
Okay.
and I went to a JUCO. They sent me to an upstate New York. I think it was Herkimer, if I'm not mistaken. And the living situations was just horrible. I
Yeah.
said, nah, man, I can't stay here. I came home and coach down in Willingboro, Dr. Gibson, and my guy, man, if he was living, he'd kill me because he was the one that brought me down. And we played, and oh, bro, if we just all stayed there, we had to kill it. Eric Williams came down with me. We had a
Mm-hmm.
couple of guys from New York that played, and so coach got in trouble there. Make a long story short, coach got in
Mm-hmm.
trouble.
Okay.
So the team got split up. I went to a JUCO out in Kansas. My roommate was J.R. Ryder. Bro, that was the first time in my life I went to a junior college and you had 14 All-Americans. Yo, my roommate was J.R. Ryder. You know what I mean? And J.R. Ryder won the dunk also in the dunk contest, the All-Star game. I'm like, oh my God. I walked in that gym, I was like, oh yeah, this real deal here. This big boy game right here. The
Mm-hmm.
point guard was from DC. He was All American. I think he went to K State after that year. And I would have went back, but I came home that summer, man. The living conditions for my brothers. I said, "Ma, I ain't going back to school. I can't. Look how y'all living." You know what I mean? My mother said, "Son, we take everything and give to you." I said, "Well, you ain't got to do that no more because I ain't going. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
going back. And if I had to do it all over again, I'd do it the same way. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I had to come home to help raise my brothers and do the right thing. I have no regrets in that form. Like I said, I had that relationship with Mr. Wembley after basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I was working in a real estate office, and a lot of people don't know Mr. Wembley was working on a 24-hour gym. I think that was 1993. And me and him used to meet, and he used to say, Ari, find me a warehouse, find me this. This is what I want. And he always used to tell me, oh, you're going to be all right because you're learning how to make money. The guys that go to the NBA, they're giving money. He said, but you're learning how to make money, so trust me. And it took me to now, I'm about to be 55, to understand what it was he was saying to me. Because I have no regrets on life. My life is great right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I ask one thing though? That JUCO time you did, how did you play? How did you think you played with
Oh
those
man, I
guys when you
played
were playing?
well. I played
Okay.
well out there. But like I said, I didn't go back. That was Allen County. Yeah, that's
Okay.
JUCO in Kansas. Yeah, Allen County, Kansas. Right. That's where we was at. And when I came home, I was like, I just started working, doing things, got caught up in some bad things. And
Mm-hmm.
once again, my mentors straightened me out. I ran into Mr. Reynolds one day, and he says to me, Ari, how you living? And I looked at him. I said, Mr. Reynolds, I can't lie to you, man. I said, I ain't living right, but I tell you what, I'm gonna get it right. And that was my changing point in my life, where everything started going back the right way. Because, like I said, I looked at the guys that mentored me. They all broke their backs. They worked hard, put in that work. They ain't take no shortcuts. So how can I follow with them behind them if I'm gonna take shortcuts in life? So, I had to let the shortcuts go and put that work and realize that there is no elevators to success. It's one step at a time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did, man. God, like I said, he blessed me tremendously. I still wake up and pinch myself with the way I'm living. Yeah.
Nah, it's deserved here. And I know you just talk about the housing game. And again, just having someone just educate you, I mean, mentor you just like basketball, and you just took it. Sound like you turned things around, and you've been running with it ever since. As soon as you
Yeah.
kind of got a hold of it. I mean, because it's out there, and I think it says a whole lot. I mean, like I said, one door closes, the other open. I know that's a cliche, and again, you're down and you're lucky, but Mr. Reynolds bumping into him here because I know just being athletes and you run into your coaches, you want them to still feel proud. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to be running around doing God knows what, getting into trouble here, and then you got to run into them and your head down talking to them. So you want to have your head up, feeling good when they're asking how you doing.
Oh,
So
man.
I
That's
totally
right.
get that.
That's right, man. Like I said, those guys taught me well, man. And I think, it was back in, man, I forgot what year we coached small fry. I started coaching small fry with my brother. We won a national championship in small fry. Went to the stage a couple of times. And when I look at those kids that I coach, and I see them coaching, I see them teaching, I
Yeah,
see them with wives. I said, yo, we made a difference. You know,
that's right.
we made a difference. So when I see that, I'm just ecstatic, man, and especially when they run up to me, oh, coach, man, I'm giving back. I'm coaching now, coach, and I'm doing this and coaching. And I just shake my head. I'm like, yeah, bro. That means those guys that were before me showed me the way, and all they do is come back full circle. Come
That's
back
right.
full circle.
Now that's right. I heard a phrase a long time ago, and it sticks with me to this day as you're sharing that. You engrave your name in the hearts of kids, you live forever.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that is true.
yeah, yeah.
That is true.
Now speaking of kids, you wound up starting your own family here. How was that? I mean, coach/father. I mean, how did all
I'm a
that work? You
grandfather
being
now too.
grandfather? Yeah, okay, that's right, grandfather. Now, just how all that just changed your life here.
Oh man, my sons changed my life because that's how I got into coaching
Okay.
with watching them. And um, I always used to tell my brother, hey man, we gotta get it right because we got some young guys behind us that's watching us. Oh man, I said, bro, how are we gonna show them right and we doing wrong?
Mm,
It don't add up. 1 + 1 is 2. And my brother, oh yeah, all right, you think you know everything? Yeah, yeah, okay, all right, you'll see. So, we started coaching my sons. Paul McPleasant used to run the St. Rocco's. He gave me and my brother the key. He said, hey man, y'all do a phenomenal job with these kids. What we need to pay? You don't need to pay me nothing. I don't need no money. I'm gonna do this because my son on that team, and besides, I love the game. And he gave us the key, and we ran with it. And oh man, everywhere you went, St. Rocco's was making some noise again. And I look at those guys now. My son, my cousin, and my nephew. Like I said, they coaching the kids. They doing their thing. Um, they don't ask me for nothing. That's a great thing.
mhm, mhm.
That's a great thing. So I was
That's a
like,
job well done by you. Yeah.
yeah, job well done. And I get upset when my son don't ask for nothing. I'm like, yo, dude, you know I'm over here. If you need
Hmm.
help, no, damn, I got it. You showed me the right way. All right, but I also had help along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. But as a parent, you always there. So I mean, despite him wanting to just do it for himself, but you're always there. So
yeah.
yeah, nah, most definitely here. Even with sports and all the stuff here, like what has it given you that sticks with you to this day?
Say that again.
What is sports giving you that sticks with you to this day?
Discipline.
Yeah,
Discipline. What you put in is what you get out. Hard work pays off. There's no shortcuts to success. You know, I have a nephew now, and he's at Shabazz, the sophomore nephew. He's not as good as the freshman nephew. And I said, hey, I once was you. I said, believe it or not, it was my junior year where that ball started turning, where I went from the medium guy to the large guy. And it's just discipline, sacrificing. You know, still to this day, I get up 5:30 in the morning.
Mm.
I'm not running the miles I used to run, but I get up and I meditate and I think, okay, what's the move for the day? How I'm gonna go about my day, you know. Like today, we were supposed to have this interview at 12 something. I said, nah, I better get on the road. Let me do what I do with him early, then I can
Mm-hmm.
go bust my moves. So I mean, it gave me discipline over anything, you know, and that desire to win in life itself. You know, to this day, everybody want to win.
That's right.
You know, everybody want to win, and they say, "What are we chasing?" And, you know, what? How do we want to be remembered? You know, I say to myself, "Well, I want to be remembered as that guy that gave, that helped so many others." You know, most people. I tell my son and my brother, I'm not chasing money no more. You know, I let the money chase me, and what I want to chase is a legacy where I'm known like a Bill Wembley, you know, because I don't care what arena you go into. You mention that man name, oh, they praise. And you know, I almost forgot one guy, my mentor, Barry Gimblestyle. Oh man, he was a phenomenal guy to me, you know. And he taught me one thing that stuck with me the most: family,
Yes.
family. And I would call Barry, ay. He ain't hear nothing I said. Ari, how's the kids? How's the family? And I look at him and say to myself, Barry, the kids, the family, they all screwed up. If I'm screwed up, yeah, that ain't about that. So I learned one thing from him, and I learned that family is the most important thing in this world. You can't pick and choose your family. You can pick and choose any and everything else, but you can't pick and choose family.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
so
right.
I'm glad I remembered that guy because that was my guy. Yeah, he
Mm.
taught me that. That's one of the most important things I learned from him. You know, was family, man. You know, no matter what, at the end of the day, that's all you have.
Mm.
You know, at the end of the day, you run into a brick wall out there. Who gonna be there? Family. Some gonna
Yeah.
talk about you. Some gonna help you.
Mm-hmm.
But they
Mm-hmm.
still gonna be there. You know. Yeah.
Nah, most definitely. And even with families, sometimes it's that family that's not even blood related, you know?
Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's right. Because, like I said, man, my key, my success in life, God has blessed me with some amazing men in my life, man. You know, I come home, I sit on my porch, and I go to thinking, oh man, this guy blessed me here, that guy blessed me there. Oh, this guy here, and when they say it take a village to raise a child, that is absolutely true. Yeah, that is absolutely true because those are the guys. Like I said, if I missed anybody, I apologize. I had Ivan Holmes, he passed not too long ago, but he was another guy I could pick up that phone. That was that Shabazz route. I could pick up that
Mm-hmm.
phone. Hey, Mr. Holmes, I need this, I need that. Mayor Sharp James, you know, the list goes on, man, with so
Mm-hmm.
many great guys, you know, that ran through Shabazz. You know, all of these guys I'm naming were at Shabazz. Matter of fact, Barry Gimmelstein was Lou Grimsley head coach. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
See,
Yes.
79 team. I mean, that route run deep. And
Mm-hmm.
and you keep going down that line and you say, oh man, God has blessed me. And I just pray that I bless kids the same way that these gentlemen bless me because it's amazing for me, you know.
Nah, it sounds like you have here. I mean, I know you've seen a couple of these before here. On the back end here, just some random questions. I mean, just have some fun on the back end here. If
Yeah.
you good with that?
Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. So, When driving, Parkway to Turnpike.
I'm a turnpike guy.
Okay, okay. Lyons Ave or Clinton Ave?
I'm Clinton Ave all the way. I'm driving in Clinton.
All right. Bambergers or Universal?
I'm going Bambergers.
Okay. Yeah. Coopers or Braggers?
That's a tough one. Yeah, that's a tough one, because they both. I'm gonna go Coopers. I'm going Coopers.
All right. I know you had to stay fresh in these hallways here. So, Bally's, British Walkers.
I'm going with Bally's because I'm still rocking those.
You still rocking them.
Still rocking.
Okay. I didn't even know they still made them, to be
Yeah,
honest
they
with
still make them.
you. You mentioned this earlier here. Best playground as far as that you love to play at.
Oh, the whole.
Yeah. Hmm. I know you talked a lot about Mr. Wimberly and well deserved here. I want to ask as far as Mr. Reynolds and Lou here, what they meant to you.
Oh man, like I said, I still call both of those guys on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Reynolds gave me the blueprint on life.
Mm.
Lou. Well, Lou is just that guy, man. I mean, I call Lou still to this day. I actually call them both, but I call Lou more. But I was in a classroom my sophomore year. Mr. Reynolds gave us a speech. And every time I get with him, I let him know, hey, Mr. Reynolds, I heard you. Because he gave us a life on breakdowns. He said, a young man at 18 to 25, they making their mistakes. He said, but a young man from 25 on, whatever you're doing at that time, you'll be doing for the rest of your life. So I heard him that day. 18 to 25, yeah, I made some mistakes. We all made them when we was young. But at 25, I vowed to work hard to have a plan in place because Mr. Reynolds said, whatever you're doing at that time, you'll be doing for the rest of your life. And I would say, and I believe I was 24, I started my construction company with my uncle. And I'm 55 in a couple of months, I'm still doing that construction. I'm in law enforcement as well. So, I mean, my life is great, man, and like I said, those guys, all of them, every man that I mentioned, Barry Gimbelstadt, Bill Wembley, Lou Grimsley, Mr. Reynolds, Mr. Watson, Ali Rashid, I can't forget Coach Carnegie, um, my uncles, Frank Barino, Bill Blackmon, my father, Alexander Blackmon, they all molded me into the man I am today.
Yeah.
So I thank all of those guys, and I pray and that I could continue to making a change in some of the young men's lives now that I mentor. You know, and every day, you got to bless another. You know what I mean? You always gonna run across somebody that's gonna need some help or need some guidance. And a lot of people think it's financials. No, it's not. It might just be the one thing you say that changed a man's life. Because Mr. Reynolds said one thing that stuck with me. Um, Lou Grimsley, one thing that stuck with me. I could take a statement from every man that I gave or mentioned just now, and I live it every day of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Every day of my life. Yeah. And like I said, when I'm home, I'm in my backyard or my front porch, just sitting, meditating, thinking. I'll laugh to myself like, yeah, I remember when he said this and he said that. And at the time when they said it, you looked at them like they were crazy. Like, man, this guy, what is he talking about? Me and Mr. One was up in the I want to say that was the train restaurant up in West Caldwell. And that's when he's made that statement. He said, all right, I'm not worried about you. You're going to be all right in life because you're learning how to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Wham, I don't know. He said, the guys that went to the NBA, trust me, you'll see. they're giving money. You're learning how to make money. There's a big difference. And at that time, I didn't understand it. But now I sit back, I'm like, hey, my family is well taken care of. I'm not hurting for anything. My granddaughter don't have to worry about $1 a day in her life. You know what I mean? So I'm all right. Yeah.
No, that's solid here. That's solid.
Mm-hmm.
Best team at any level that you ever been on.
I'm going with that AAU squad.
Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm going with the AAU squad because, oh man, you had the best of the best at every position. Two
Mm-hmm.
or three of them.
Yeah.
You had two or three. Behind Marquise, we had Mark Andrews. I think he played for Columbia, if I'm not mistaken. Behind Reggie, I had Ice McMillan, which was a guard at Shabazz. I mean, you had 2 and 3 of everything. You had Lance Miller, Dave Miller. Um, we had some great guys. We had some great
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
And I, we all still stay in touch to this day. I still pick up the phone and call them
Yeah.
guys once in a blue.
Now that camaraderie, it runs forever. Once you click, yeah, nah, it runs forever. Absolutely.
Yeah.
This might be tough for you. Best at any level, best game you ever played in your life.
You said
What's one that
Mark
come to mind?
Scott that
It's
last
Scott.
year when I broke my hand. Because
Mhm.
I think Molly might have gave us about 34, 35. I might have finished with about 31, 33. And we got the win. We got up out of there. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I played him at Scott or
No, that was a state
that's
sectional final.
okay, okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, I think you might have mentioned this too, but a game you will want back.
That one. Because I
Yeah.
broke my hand like 5 seconds left. Yeah, I said,
Mhm.
oh man. And I was no good after that. I was just a body on the court at that point,
Yeah.
you know. And although after the game, Eric Brother came up, Lil Murdoch said, yo, you the baddest point guard I ever played. I said, that's funny. I only played with one hand. You know what I mean? But so I wish I could have got that game back because Lou probably should have took me out, or I should have subbed myself out, because I was like the / point guard coach. Lou let me run it. Hey, you run this team. If I got to coach you, it's a problem. And
Mm.
that was Lou mentality.
Mhm.
Lou is a great guy, man. I mean, like I said, I'm just thankful for all of those guys that played a part in my life. All of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you ever you had a go-to move? I mean, just being a guard here, you
Oh
had a
yeah,
go-to?
my in and out was serious.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, the
Hmm.
in and out was serious. People thought I was left-handed because I played with the left hand. That was my go-to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. In and out was serious.
Now, Shabazz, so your all-time Shabazz starting fives, and it could be positionless too.
Oh man, all time starting five. Well, I'm gonna move Avant to the power forward. I'm
Okay.
gonna put Furlow at the center.
Hmm.
Um, oh man, see, that's right. You know what? I'm gonna put Lou Grimsley over at the 3, and I'm gonna put me and Reg at the 1 and 2.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's mean. That's mean. Yeah. I even give you a 6 man. Yeah, 6 man.
Oh man, 6 man. I'm bringing Eric Williams to the block party.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll bring Eric Williams to the block. I know I'm gonna get a lot of wrath over there.
But it's all good. That's the fun of it, though, because there's so many, yeah, so many that walk them hallways. So no, so
Yeah.
I know it's tough here. During your era, back in high school, who's best high school player that you seen? They don't even have to be from Newark, but like best.
Man. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Hmm.
That one tough. The best I seen was Chris Gent.
Really, the lefty, huh? Yeah.
Bro, you had to be in that gym to see him that night.
Okay. Okay.
Chris Gent had me and my guys ready to fight in the huddle.
Hmm. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, but I seen so many great ones though. I could go. Hey, you Anthony Pillow was a bad boy. He was
Okay.
another lefty. Anthony Pillow was out of
Mm.
Missouri. He was another lefty.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The toughest point guard, I got to give it to Mark Brown.
Wow. Showbiz.
I
Yeah.
got, I got, I hands down. Like I said, I wanted to play him because I knew he
Hmm.
was the best.
Mm.
Because you can only grade yourself by playing the best to see,
Hmm.
all right, where am I at? Because this guy here got every piece of equipment in the book, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so that was my reason wanting to play him, because I said, yo, he's the best. I want to play him, you
Hmm.
know. Another one, man. Oh, I,
How about this?
I can't leave that white boy
Ah,
out of Jersey City. Hurley was tough.
Bobby. Yeah.
Hurley
Yeah.
was tough. I got to give him his props. Hurley was another tough one. You
Hmm.
know, I
Now,
can't leave him
who
out.
gave you problems? Anybody like that you played on a regular basis? Like, all right, I know this is gonna be a battle.
That boy out of Central JC, that boy
Okay.
out of Banter Red. Those was problems.
Yeah.
Those was problems because they came in there like, well, I'm gonna kick your little ass.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's how they came in my gym. Oh, I remember we played JC in the hole one day. Oh man, he jumped on me something terrible. And he bent over at the free throw line. Ari, where you at? You ain't in the building tonight? Where you at?
Hmm.
I said, you got that. I'll catch up with you the next time. I'm quite sure we'll see each other again.
Hmm.
Yeah, man. But nah, them, like I said, Red played the game like he was Aaron Pryor somebody, man. I'm like, yo, why you come to a game angry? You know, he just had that chip on his shoulder.
Hmm.
But he was a problem because he played that D. Uh,
Hmm.
Another tough guard that played me hard was Sam Cassell.
Okay. Yeah.
Sam Cassell was the Muhammad Ali of on the basketball court. Talk
Mm.
smack the whole entire game. I come down, I hit him with a move. He like, oh yeah, shorty, good move, but you got to play D on the other end.
Mhm. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was tough, man. I played against a lot of tough ball players.
Um, I know, I know.
Yeah.
How do you define this? Somebody who should have made it.
Say that again.
How have you defined this? Someone who should have made it, whether that's to the league, college, or just how have you defined made it? Was somebody who should have made it?
Hmm. I should have made it.
Hmm.
Wrong place at the wrong time. Timing was off, and situations in life. Situations in life make a difference, because yeah, I'm in college. I was the first one of my mother's sons to go to college. Hip hip hooray. But when you come home and you look in your freezer, there's nothing there. You look around your
Yeah.
kitchen table, there's no kitchen chairs. You look at the living room and it's empty. You got crates and seats. Oh my, I can't go back to college. My little brother's living like this. Oh, son, mine, guess what? That's gonna have to catch up. I'm gonna have to catch up to that later. But in life, I say I'm winning. Uh, my son got his degree. My cousin that I raised as my son got his degree. My nephew, that's Coach of Shabazz, got his degree. When I see them with that, I'm winning.
Right.
And on life in general, I'm winning. I got a beautiful home. I got money. I got a beautiful wife. I am winning. And I look at my granddaughter and say, yo, she don't know how blessed she is. She don't have to worry about nothing. If I leave this earth today, she got a full scholarship as a doctor paid for. So
Yeah.
I'm winning, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I tell any and everybody, if I had to do it all over again, I'd do it the same way. I have no regrets because everything I got, I earned.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
earned it. And my son, it's funny because my oldest son said to me, just the other day. He said, Dad, only knowing you to stay home in bed only when you dog sick. He said, I saw you get up every day, strap them boots, and go out that door and put in that work. And as I was driving, it hit me. I said, wow. When you think nobody's looking, they looking.
Oh, they look there. They watching. Oh,
Yeah,
oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And when you think they're not looking, you be surprised. They looking, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I just, because you never know how your kids feel about you, And that day, I guess he wanted me to know. And I said, wow. I said, oh man, I wouldn't have never thought that. But, when he hit me with it, I was like, I've done something right. Because he see, and all I did was the same thing my father did. Get up every morning, break your back, go to work, do what you got to do, you know. And I felt good about that, man.
Yeah, as you should, and it kind of brings me to this one here. Best part about being Ray Black.
Oh man, enjoying my family.
Yeah, yeah.
Enjoying my family, especially at this point in my life, knowing um ah, I'm living my dream.
Mm-hmm.
Back in 1993, I was living on Stratford, apartment 3D with my first son and his mom's, and I put a picture frame. I put a house and a car and a frame, and I said, one day I'm gonna live like that. 2019, I built that dream home, that Benz in that garage, everything that's in that picture frame, I'm living it right now. So I go back and that was the first piece of furniture I put in my house, that picture frame. And it's raggedy as all outside.
Nah, but you don't know how much value that holds to that picture frame. Probably more than anything you got up in there, just about. I'm sure.
Oh man,
That vision, you had to see it.
bro, that picture frame, that picture frame chose my wife. You know,
Mm,
the first, my first son mother laughed at it. My
mm,
second son mother said, put that shit up in the closet somewhere. My wife saw it, which was my girlfriend at the time, said, oh, we're gonna put this by the prayer candles. I said,
oh
that's the
yeah.
wife.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Why?
Book on your life. What would you call it?
Oh man. It's funny you ask that question because my sister cousin always say, I should write a book. Oh man, that's a tough one. Maybe book on my life. I would go from how would we put it? From destroying communities to protecting communities to rebuilding communities. Yeah,
Mhm.
because in my younger days, I did some things that wasn't right. Um, got in law enforcement. That would be the protection. Construction company, we building new homes and we building communities. So yeah, that's where it would be. Mhm.
You just described Newark right there.
Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah,
yeah. That's right.
yeah. That that senior year outright, you being 55 now. Well, what advice would you give that senior year outright now that all that you've been through in life for that? What advice would you give him? That
Patience,
senior
one
year.
word. Patience,
Hmm.
patience.
Yeah.
That senior year, I already wanted it all like instant.
Hmm.
Me now, oh, slow down. It's gonna happen. Speak it into existence. I have business partners that's I'm dealing with now, and I had to tell them, what you rushing for? Where you going? Oh, bro, everything you looking at me with took me 20, 30 years to get it. Patience wasn't built in a day. Don't look at my picture now. Look at that picture frame that I put up there in 1993.
Yeah.
They don't talk about that one. But they'll look at the picture now. Oh, you got the big house. Oh, you got this and you got that. It took years to get there. It took years. It took failure. Because when that crisis hit us in '08, oh man, I lost everything I had. I had to rebuild myself. That's when I went into law enforcement 2012, 2014. I had to rebuild myself and build it one brick at a time. Like, all right,
Yes.
let's start from the bottom, get that credit back right. You know, keep your eye on the prize. Don't lose vision. Because the minute you lose vision, it's over.
Yeah.
So I had to pick that picture frame up and put that by my nightstand so I can look at it every night. That's what I'm chasing, and like I said, if you see that picture frame and you see my house today, it's just one thing different. The little section on the left.
Yeah. Yeah.
But everything else is there. Yeah. I tell these kids, dream big,
That's right.
dream big, plan. Because a man that don't plan is a man that plan to fail.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You got to
Oh
dream
yeah.
big. And that's where I'm at with my sons now, my nephews. Every time I get with them, I don't talk about basketball. What's our next move on life? Because we already doing that. Where we going next? What's next? My son. Oh, what is it going to take to get this trucking company off the ground? I like owning. Owning is equity. Let's go get it. So that's what I preach to my guys now. It's not about, oh, the NBA or this. No. What's our next move? What's your plans? What's your dreams? My oldest son just got married. And the conversation I'm in?
Yeah.
When are we going to buy that house? My grandbaby need her own room. She need her backyard.
Mm-hmm.
This is what she need. Oh, hey, listen, accept the help while I'm here to give it to you.
Yes.
Let's go find that house. Let's own it. Oh, Dad,
Mm-hmm.
I want to own it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's own it. Let's build that equity because that's what we want. That's what we after. You know, Everybody could say this and say that, but life has always come down to one thing. What do you own? You walk in that bank, they don't ask you about your accolades. They say, how's your credit and what do you own?
Yeah, nah, I haven't seen how many titles you want on the application. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So, you
Yeah.
know, that's where I'm at in life, man. I mean, I'm just enjoying it right now.
As you should, as you should. And speaking of life here, what would your parents say about you?
Oh man, my mom's biased. You can forget about that.
Yeah, yeah,
She's gonna say I'm the
yeah.
greatest son in America.
That's a mother's love, yeah, especially with their boys.
My father's proud of me. Yeah, he's proud of me, man. The man I become. He said, "Oh man, he couldn't ask for greater sons. He loved all his boys because we all doing what he did. We worked hard.
Mm,
Every last one of his sons is out there doing what they need to do for their family.
mm,
And I say it's great when you have your sons and they grow to men and they don't come to you for anything. That's a great moment. I
mm,
actually get mad at my sons. Y'all do know my number, don't you? You do know I'm over here, but I guess they got it honestly.
mhm.
I'm gonna go out here and get my own, and if I need the old man, I ask him, but I'm not gonna put out that pressure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nah. What's on deck for you?
Huh?
I said, what's on deck? What's next?
And man, just believe it or not, I'm just like in the mellow stage. You know,
Hmm.
my brother get mad at me a lot now because he said, "Oh man, you ain't hungry no more." I said, "Bro, what is life? Life is life. I'm not chasing money. The young me wanted all the money. The older me is like, okay, family's good, living good. Long as the bills get paid, what are we chasing? What are we chasing? What's next? just continue building the wealth, building homes. That's it.
Yeah.
Selling them, trying to get to the retired life, one day at
Hmm.
a time. Yeah. What's my happy point for me right now?
What's that?
When I come home and light that stick and have that drink, and man, I'm on top of the world.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, you got that peace.
Yeah, bro. I say, nothing else matters.
Mhm.
Nothing else matters. I can sit on my porch. My wife say, how can you sit outside for 5, 6 hours at night? Where I grew up at, I couldn't sit outside.
Yeah. Well,
So to be able to sit on my porch, listen to my music, smoke that stick, have my drink, what matters? And know that none of my loved ones is hurting for anything, I can't ask for no more than that. If
yeah,
they call and they need help, I can give it. I can't ask for no more than that. So that's where I'm at in life. Like, hey, I'm all right.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, well said here. Ari, I want to say thank you because again, your name since I've been doing these has been brought up and everything here. So just to even have an opportunity to say it, like I shared right from the beginning, like just waiting to get you on here, like I was just excited. I know my wife always sees it a little different, especially when I have people on and folks that as a youngin you hear about and what have you. There, so she kind of like, oh, you must be talking to somebody today. Yeah. So I just want to say thank you, just for me, just being that young one, this the floor exploits, but just to sit here and just hear about things that you've done with your life. And I know it's only a small window here, but I
Right.
just wanted to say thank you so much for just even providing me this opportunity to chop it up for a little bit and hear a little about your walk. This means the world to me. So thank you.
Man, I thank you for having me. I thank every guy that brought my name up to you, because nobody knows what they mean to people until they really sit back and reap the rewards. Anybody
Mhm.
can give you your flowers when you're gone, but to get them while you're here, like you said, it was you on it, man. I'm on it. I was like, oh man, they want to interview me. So it's an honor and a privilege for me to even be on here with you as well.
uh, Thank you, man, and I'll be in touch when even if it's just a text or to say what's up. That's it,
Uh,
man. Just to
uh,
check in. But thank you.
man, I'm here, brother. I'm here.
Absolutely, absolutely, and we'll talk.
Oh, no doubt.
No doubt. Peace, man.
All right, thank you.
Man, the joys of doing this here. All right, thank you just for just sharing a little bit of your moments, well, with me here. Like I said, heard the name throughout, growing up, what have you. So just sit here, just hear a little bit here. Like I said, the joy that it just brings to me as far as having an opportunity to do this. But with that said, I'm gonna step away. I put my hand over my heart. That means I feel you. Yeah.